College campus. Did you say college classic campus hits or college campus classic hits? I'm TcYbarra. This is college campus classic hits, and we're reading Miracles of the Saints. And this is a really good book, Bert Gizzy, and I'm enjoying it because it's about miraculous things. And I want to share it with you as we're sharing the lost books of the Bible, as we're sharing the book of Adam and Eve, as we're sharing what would Jesus do, and now Miracles of the Saints. We're in page 20, and I would have to say this is the first part of chapter 2. A healing touch. Is there anyone who's seeking healing goodnesses? You'll find them through Christ Jesus, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. You remember that guy from Nazareth? Yeah. St. Martin de Porres, 1579, 1639. 1579, 1639. Virtue is our Everest, and those who climb highest are most worth admiring. By Phyllis McGinley. It's interesting when we read these and we see this by this manner of teaching or telling or even more seeking in the Lord. Martin de Porres was a forerunner of 20th century social activists. Consider the remarkable record of his achievements, though, other than just him being an activist or a remarkable one. Most of which he completed in addition to his routine tasks. Just reviewing his generosity may make us hyperventilate with exhaustion, because he'd be one so hard to keep up with. Everything that he was doing ignited. You ever meet someone who just ignites in everything they do? They work on cars, right? They're good at the stock market, and they're good at socialism, where socialism is concerned for a better than the socialists that we know that concern themselves with the flesh. Hey. But we have here one who would exhaust you spiritually. Yeah. So Martin de Porres, or Porres, Martin single-handedly transformed his monastery into a service center, distributing food and clothing daily to hundreds of people. He also made it a prototype of a modern clinic where the sick came to have their diseases cured. Could you imagine that? Okay, not only are you feeding the needy, right, because we got a lot of homeless people in San Jacinto and Hemet, but Los Angeles. Could you imagine going into Hemet or San Jacinto and San Bernardino and Los Angeles and Orange County and having 4 centers that not only fed but clothed, and not only clothed but allowed sleeping or a cot, and not only allowed a cot but healed? Oh Lord. Huh? Yeah. Well, so that's what this guy was doing. And in those days, they didn't have the type of doctoring that we have today, right? Everybody is so concerned on the doctor. What the doctor say? What the doctor say? Well, you should get this at the pharmacy, right? All you're going to is a legal drug dealer. That's all you're going to. He's legal. He's got a license to sell drugs. They're doing the same thing with marijuana and diet pills. and they came in droves. Martin raised vast sums of money that he gave to the poor, and once he provided dowries for 27 impoverished girls who would have been unable to marry otherwise. He loved the homeless children of Lima, and for these waits, he planned, funded, and built an orphanage and school. He arranged for the best possible staff, sparing nothing to hire the most qualified caregivers and teachers. You know, it's hard to find good staff. Good staff don't fall out of trees, man. You say, oh, there goes the apple bunch right there, right? You know, and they say, oh, the apples fall out of the tree. Not true. My Uncle Chava, Salvador, he had a really genuine quality about himself when he was sober. He was alluring. He was very alluring. He was very, very articulate, streetwise, and his ability to allure and if he offended you, to be forgiven was just far beyond anything that I could reach. And I had told him before, you amaze me sometimes, Uncle Chava. But how do we know these things unless we get to know? It's so important to be assured in the knowledge of what God calls today wisdomatical. Right? Let's read. So the best staff was very important for Martin, and sparing nothing to hire the most qualified caregivers and teachers. So caregivers not only assist students, but as well the elderly. So we know he had a lot of elderly that he was looking over, probably that nobody else wanted to care for in 1579. Right? He accomplished all this out of his own extreme poverty, meaning that he suffered poverty and said, one day, God, if you use me, I promise you, you won't regret using me. I'll do everything I can to give back 200 times more than what you've given. Use me, Lord. Use me. And God said, yes, I like him. You feel that way today? Any of you? I know there are sisters and brothers out there that do. They're waiting for that chance to be used by God. They want to walk in a room and people say, yes, brother or sister, you're here finally. They want to touch people. They want the gift of God, the true gift of love. But you can't say, I only work with Baptists or only non-denominational. I can't do this. Oh, watch your mouth, brother. You got to leave. Get out of here. That's not what God would do. God would say, let's work this out. Come in here, both of you. What happened? I see. Okay. Well, okay. You need to sit this out for a little while. Calm down. Please don't go anywhere. Stay here. Well, I'm in a hurry. And you'll see who really is at fault. Then you ask him, instead of asking him to leave, you'll say, make up. His only possession was one shabby tunic. Yet he was an inexhaustible source of comfort and help for thousands over a period of nearly 50 years. This reminds me of a pastor, a reverend actually, in Bell Gardens. A man who would cook in his own yard Thanksgiving dinner and pass it out to anybody who was hungry. I remember going over there one time and talking to his daughter, and she said, oh, we're passing out dinner right now. I can't talk. And I said, oh, really? She goes, yeah. I was 15 years old, and it was Thanksgiving. And she was out there with her dad. She goes, my dad's a reverend. He's a preacher. I'm the daughter of a preacher man. And I said, All right. She became my girlfriend later. Was very proud of her. This man healed people. He supported people. He fed them. He housed them. He employed people to take care of them as he would. He wanted only people who were going to watch over these people in general, Islamic, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Hare Krishna, Jah, Tiki, Catholic, Lutheran, Protestant, Baptist, Quaker, Jehovah's Witness. It don't matter. You are flesh. You need help. No violence, please. So he helped thousands over a period of 50 years. That, I think, is perhaps the real miracle in this saint's life. You know anybody like that today? It's very hard to say that we're Christians when we got a bank account with $25,000 in it and there's somebody out there that needs help. You're saying, I have children. Yes, keep that money. You can't think of something you can do for somebody right now. Just 5,000 of that 25,000. Oh, you want to give it to the church, right? Oh, they're going to give it to the orphanages in Africa. I'm not talking about an orphanage in Africa. I'm talking about right here in America. I understand that the orphanages in Africa, they need money. You can give $100 out of that 5,000. Millions of people do. But I'm talking about something else. You know, there's a mission somewhere that's close that could use that money. That'll pay for another 50 beds. 50 beds. And that'll feed some more people for another 6 months. I'm TcYbarra. This is College Campus Classic Hits. You see, Martin Perez helped people where he lived. And we could do the same. God bless you all. Good night.